selling shit on the side. Here to the street, out to the sky. Road tripping, I just left in the prize. New plug, I just get in the jive. Set it up, having meetings and slack. NBA side.
What's the word, fo? Had to hit y'all with another story time, man. This one I ain't gonna fake it, it's a little bit more personal, right? This is basically like the reason why I had to move up out of St. Louis, man. I moved up out of my hometown back in 2019, and I really had to shake because it was so much going on. So for one, right, I really started taking my Coupe de Trill career like serious around like 2016, right? I started traveling to like Rico Love Music Conference. You know, I went out there a couple of times, you know, A3C music conferences. I was like getting in touch with so many like behind the scenes music executives. I'm meeting YouTubers, you hear me? I'm doing a lot, right? But it just seemed like, you know, once I started doing that, it just started seeing like the energy in the city started changing. Like, it's always been violent. I ain't gonna fake it. St. Louis has always been a murder capital city, you know what I'm saying? But for some reason, bro, it's like around this time, bro, it just started like people just started dying left and right. 2017 is one of the craziest years of my life because every month somebody had passed away. Whether it was like an overdose, 9 times 10 they getting murdered, you hear me? People dying of heart attacks. It was just weird, bro. It was just a crazy time for me, right? So as time going on, bro, I'm like really taking my brand serious. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking my brand serious. I'm investing more into myself. I'm investing into my clothes, my logo. You know, I'm investing into like my brand. You know what I mean? I'm really just sitting down. Like when I'm at the gig, I'm listening to like branding podcasts and audio books and all of that. Man, I'm really taking it serious. And, you know, I wanted a better future, you know what I'm saying, for myself and for my family. So what ended up happening, man, at first I was supposed to move in like 2017. My cousin, she was like, you know, she stayed in Fort Worth at the time. And then she was like, yeah, she was like, cool. You and your family, you know what I'm saying, y'all can come down here. Y'all could, cause I'm finna be somewhere else. Y'all could sublease my apartment and y'all could be down there and then look for y'all own little spot and then y'all can get y'all own shit. I'm like, ooh, bet, right? So this is 2017. Bro, I swear like a month after she told me that, went back to Fort Worth, right? My transmission went crazy. My transmission died in my car. You know what I'm saying? I was hot. I'm like, bro. So I had to basically get a whole nother whip, which I got from my mechanic. You hear me? I got from my mechanic. You know what I'm saying? I was paying it off or whatever. I got it from my mechanic. He was cool with me. Had me with the car notes. He worked with me and everything like that. So bro, it was one of them times, man. It was just like I was just constantly like I really needed like basically that the Fort Worth trip, it was on pause because of that, right? So like I said, man, it was like then around that time, everybody kept getting knocked, bro. Everybody kept getting knocked. I mean, from my cousin getting knocked to coworkers getting knocked to the first ever quadruple murder that happened in St. Louis was my auntie, my 2 little cousins, and the next door neighbor that was over there. He was my little cousin, my 20-year-old little cousin partner, whatever. And he got over there, some hating ass nigga, bro. He ended up killing him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He ended up getting life. So, but anyway, so yeah, man, that happened. So it was just a frenzy, bro. And it was so crazy, like going through that because like around that time I'm at the gig, right? And like everybody talking about like this quadruple murder that happened in St. Louis, and it's my shit. You know what I'm saying? And everybody like, damn, that's cool people. That's cool people. So imagine being in the break room and you seeing that going across the screen and everybody kind of looking like that's cool people. You know what I'm saying? It was weird, bro. And like, you know, shout out to my cousins because that's their mama that, you know, mama and little brothers that went through that. You know what I'm saying? So that was very devastating. So after all that, man, it was crazy. It was just like, so then, you know, once you start like leveling up, like you become a mirror to the people around you. You know what I mean? So I'm making a lot of moves and a lot of people start like moving like weird, like jealous, like real, just kind of like passive aggressive, real back and forth, real doing shicey shit, but then trying to cover it up and act cool. So I was just like, man, it started getting like real, like hectic like that. So I was just like, damn, like it just felt like the walls was closing in. It felt like the walls was closing in. So I'm like, you know what? And I just made the decision one day. I'm like, man, you know what? We need to go ahead and move. I was talking to my girl, right? I'm like, man, we need to move. She always wanted to move. Her whole thing, she always wanted to move since she was younger. She was like, I'm ready to move. I'm ready to get up out of here. I want something better, yada, yada, right? And then she was like, I'm feeling the energy in the air. It really feel like something to happen because everybody around you keep getting killed. You know what I'm saying? You go out of your way, like people done broken my house. I done had to chase dudes down the street. I done did all type of, you know, I got some more story times on her, so y'all know. For those that don't know, go through these story times, y'all know. So I was going through that, and then I ended up saying, you know what, you right. So around the time we was like, you know, we gonna move to Texas. We gonna move to Texas, right? So at the time, my girl and her sister had a business, right? And her sister came over and was like, hey, you wanna she was like, shit, you wanna come with me down to Dallas right quick? You know what I'm saying? I got this little business meeting or whatever. So my girl was like, hell yeah. And I was like, damn, she going to Dallas, right? Just out the blue, right? That was in January 2019, right? So she go down there, and then when she go down there, right, she telling me like, yeah, it's a cool little vibe, this, that, and the third. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, do you see this could be a place that we live? She was like, yeah, for sure. I'm like, all right, bet. I ended up applying for a job, right? I applied for a couple jobs in Dallas, right? And then one job hit me back and was like, yeah, you got to come in for the interview. So I'm like, And I'm looking like, damn, it's saying local. I'm like, damn, do phone interviews or something? Bro, I said, you know what? I don't care. I'm finna cash out on a plane ticket, and I'm finna do that interview in person. And that's exactly what I did, bro. Like, it was in February. Man, I cashed out on the I put some PTO in. I put some PTO in on my current job. You hear me? And I cashed out on the ticket. And I said, you know what? I'm gone, bro. I'm finna go. So I flew to the interview, right? So in the process of me talking, they're like, yeah, so where you staying at now? In the interview, right? I said, I stay in St. Louis. They said, how you get here? I said, I flew. They said, wow. The whole room just got quiet, like, wow. And I was like, yeah. And they was like, so you don't stay here? I was like, nah, I don't know nobody here. I flew for this interview. They was like, whoa. And then I swear, y'all, while I was in the interview, one of the people that was up in there, they like, I'm telling my story, right? Bro, this dude straight started snoring like, I'm like, am I boring? Bro, everybody started hollering, right? He like, man, I'm sorry, man. We had a potluck, man. So it was funny, right? So that kind of eased the tension. So, you know, they end up telling me like, yeah, you know, we'll be back. You know, we'll talk to you, yada. I'm like, cool. So end up, right? I ain't hear from him. I flew back to the crib, flew back to St. Louis. Never told a soul. Only person that knew was my girl. I think my bird at the time. Yeah, my bird and my little brother. I think they're the only people I told. So I ain't tell a soul, right? So as time going on, man, that was February of 2019, right? I'm still ready to go. I'm not hearing back from the job at all. I'm not hearing back. I'm just sitting there. And for those that know me, man, I know I was a big Nipsey Hussle fan, a huge Nipsey Hussle fan. So March 2019, March 31st, he ended up getting killed. Bruh, I was so hot. I was mad, sad, the whole thing, because I feel like, damn, man, like, it was just like I told you, it was death after death, death after death. And then it's like my favorite rapper just got killed because he was in his hometown because of the hatred. I was hot. I was hot behind that. And that really affected me. I ain't know Nipsey personally, but you know how, y'all know how it is when you really connect with somebody, man. And that's what it was. I was really like, man, damn. Like, I really got to get out of here now, because now Nipsey got killed in his own. It just resonated with me, because I was like, man, if I stay here, man, like, something gonna happen to me, or I'm gonna do something to somebody, bro. I'm finna do a lot of time. I'm finna sit, or something finna happen to me. Because like I said, it felt like the walls was closing in, and people that I was around started showing like, look, jealousy and weird energy. And it was just like people was creating environments for people to hate on me and my family, you hear me? So it was just like, all right, cool. So come April, right? No lie, around April, I think it was my birthday. So I get an email saying, hey, do you still want this job? I'm like, yeah, for sure. So they ain't say nothing again. They ain't say nothing after that, right? So the next month, right, literally I had interviewed Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, right? I interviewed him. And after I interviewed him, right, that was on a Monday. That Wednesday, I get a call from a Dallas phone number. I'm like, what's this? Basically, the lady like, hey, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? I know we've been waiting. We've been trying to work some things out, but are you ready to, do you still want this job? I'm like, yes. So she like, okay, boom. So I accepted the offer, right? And it was crazy because right before that lady called, me and my girl was sitting up like, man, what we finna do, man? This job ain't calling me back. Man, I don't know what we finna do, man. I'm ready to shake St. Louis. I'm tired of like, Like I want my career to take off, you know what I'm saying? Like the music, you know what I'm saying, it's cool, but I feel like I gotta shake St. Louis in order to, you know, to really prosper, right? And then like YouTube and thing, it was just like so much going on, right? So then after that phone call, when I accepted the offer, it was like, damn, what we finna do? Okay, we got like literally like 2 weeks to move. Like, okay. So, you know, thankfully, you know what I'm saying, at the crib we were staying at, you know what I'm saying, it was like month to month, so we didn't have to worry about, you know, breaking no leash and nothing like that. And we were just like, all right, we finna move. Bro, we really gave our peoples, our relatives, like a 2-week notice. Hey, y'all, we finna leave in 2 weeks. Everybody was like, what? And at this time, right, people thought, cause we had moved to like a little smaller little house because we was stacking, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't, you know what I'm saying, but we wasn't like, people that know me, bro, I never broadcast my moves, ever. I just don't do that. I don't really broadcast my moves. I may say shit here and there, but I really don't broadcast my moves because that's what my daddy taught me to do. I seen him do that all my life, and then for two, I just don't like getting my hopes up, and then, you know, people are quick to like throw shit in your face and be like, oh, I thought, what happened? You know what I'm saying? So, and now I'm a results type of person. I'd rather just drop it, boom, results, there we go. So, family was looking at us like, because I don't know if they thought we fell off. I don't know what it was, but they were just looking at us like, that's what y'all was doing this whole time. It's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, ended up moving, and my girl, she was already kind of like looking for that little 2 weeks. She was kind of looking like, where could we stay at, right? So she was already doing her homework once she knew that, you know what I'm saying, I accepted the offer to get this job, right? So boom, come that 2 weeks flew, and it was crazy, it was surreal, like moving everything from my house, you know what I'm saying, to the dumpster and shit. That shit was crazy, man. Some shit I sold, some shit I gave away. I was just like, look, I'm done. Bro, we moved up out of there like we just knocked somebody, or we was trying to run away from the feds or something. Like, it was that fast. You hear me? It was like fast. So it was surreal, like dropping off that key to the people, whatever, to the landlord, and just like getting on the roads. I had my whole house in the car. You hear me? And boom, I just stumped for St. Louis and stumped all the way to Dallas, right? When we get to Dallas, right, they had just had a big storm. So the hotel that I was planning on going to was like dark. I'm like, bro, what? So we get there. They like, oh, the electricity out, but you can still come in, bro. I'm like, man, what the fuck? So we first get there, like, they had to register us in, but they couldn't because electricity was down. So we had to go sleep in there, you know what I'm saying, for the day. And then the next day we got out. So the next day, that was June 9th. The day we arrived was June 9th, 2019. June 10th is my first day at this new job, right? So, mind you, the electricity messed up, so I couldn't get back into the hotel. So, I had to wear some bullshit. Like, I had on some bullshit that day or whatever. And, because I didn't have no clothes, you hear me? So, that shit was crazy. So, my first day working at the job, whatever, that shit was wild. So, then I ended up going to, so like I said, we stayed in the hotel, and this on a Monday. So my girl doing her research, so she ended up finding these apartments, right? So we ended up talking to the people in front of the apartments, and they was like, yeah, come do a walkthrough. So we did a walkthrough that Tuesday, right? The next day, boom, we go there, and then, bro, the next day they like, yeah, y'all approved, y'all can move in. We like, what? Mind you, we only been down there for like 2.5 days. So it's like, what? So we got approved, man, and that's because they talked to our previous landlord, and the landlord like vouched for us, like, you know, yeah, they super straight. They pay on time. We don't have no problem with them. Bet, say no more. That's why it's always good to have a clean face. So, boom. So luckily my job that day was like, hey, take this day off because they was talking about something about my ID or some shit like that. I had to work some shit out. So he was like, man, take this day off and just come in the morning. I'm like, bet. So literally that day we got up out that hotel and we moved into our crib that Wednesday. So we was only homeless for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. By the time Wednesday hit, we had a crib, bro. And that was crazy. And ever since then, bro, I've been down, you know what I'm saying? I've been down, you feel me? Been locked in, you know what I mean? And it was crazy because, you know, I had to move, man. And it's like things been going up. But the crazy part is, right, you know, once I got here is in 2019, right? June of 2019. And, you know, 3 months later, my grandma had passed. So October 2019, she passed, right? And then on top of that too, man, it was so crazy, it was surreal because one of my fellow rap partners, man, rest in peace to Cold Case. He was supposed to move to Atlanta, from my understanding, right? But he got killed in September of 2019. And it was crazy because he was supposed to move, but he was like broadcasting and telling everybody he was moving, from my understanding. That's what I heard, right? And I was like, damn. And it was so surreal because I was like, damn, like, I actually made it out, but he didn't. And I felt like survivor's guilt, to be honest, because I was like, damn, I straight made it out, but he didn't. And I had to go back and see my grandma, you know what I'm saying? My grandma had passed away. So coming back, it was just crazy. But then coming back to Dallas, it was just wild. Like, damn, man, I'm straight gone. So I say all that to say, man, like, if y'all want better in life, man, go and do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Home is always there. Home gonna forever be home. Man, take that risk and shake your hometown, bro, and you will level up, I promise. I promise, because now, I ain't gonna fake it. When I come back home, everybody looking at me like a trophy or something. Like, oh my God, how you doing, boy? You got big, boy. You got cocky. Da, 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 da. You look like you know what I'm saying? You looking like you living good, you know. And I ain't never been no flexer. I ain't never come around like, yeah. I just be coming around just like looking like me. And everybody be looking like, damn, you looking good. And it's like, you know, God real. That's all I tell them, you know, God real. But, you know, I said it to say, man, just, you know, move up out of your hometown. If you feel the urge, man, just do it. You know what I'm saying? It'll level you up, and it'll definitely level up your confidence. I swear to God. Because since I moved, I've always been a confident person. Don't get me wrong. I've always been confident. You know what I mean? But since I moved, my confidence done went through the roof. Simply because, you know, I did what a lot of people scared to do. You know what I'm saying? I did what a lot of people spooked at even the thought of what I've done. You hear me? So I just look at it like that, man. I just look at it like, damn, I done did something, and I done really, like, you know, really put on. So, you know what I'm saying? Man, like I said, home gonna always be there. Man, take that leap of faith, man, because you never know where you're gonna land. You know what I'm saying? You gonna 9 times out of 10, you take the leap of faith, bro, you're gonna be in the sky. Very seldom do people crash. You hear me? And like I said, man, when you move out of town, man, just, don't try to bring your old ways to your new city. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do, man. I handle my business. I stay out the way. Anytime it's some drama, I stay out the way. When I smell drama, I stay away from it. You know what I'm saying? Because I done been through too much of that shit. So I stay out the way. But at the end of the day, man, that's my story, man. That's what I moved from St. Louis, man, to Dallas, man. That's my story, man. Hope it motivated y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what other story times y'all want me. I went through a lot of shit, bro. I went through a lot. So whenever y'all want me to speak on it, just holler at me, you know what I'm saying? Drop it in the comments, you know what I'm saying? Tell me what y'all want me to talk about, man. For real, I'm my mama. Nah, for real, though. I appreciate y'all for I appreciate everybody who been rocking with me, man, since day one. I appreciate that. Keep rocking with your boy, man. I'm going to keep these story times coming, man. So, yeah, man, just hey, talk to me. Tell me something.